I have to check sometime to see if there's going to be another note. I never know. Good morning, children of God.
Good morning.
I found this one. I went, yay! When somebody says to you, you're always up, here's what you tell them. Positive people aren't always right. They're just positive. Or not. You get to choose. But I like that one. Somebody went by and said, yeah, I'm positive I'm wrong. It works. What can I tell you? So much fun to have you here today. Let's stand, join together this first Sunday in 2015 in the silence. In this moment, peace is here. Love is here. Truth is here. In this moment, God is here. And we acknowledge His presence, moving in and through us this day. We immerse ourselves in that presence and say thank you. This day, we choose to be open and receptive and responsive to His instruction and to His guidance. This day, we are grateful for the opportunity to come together, to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Today's daily word is authentic, and this morning the reading of the daily word will be by Diane.
Morning and Happy New Year. It's entitled Authentic. I create an authentic life. As this new year begins, I focus on my life, where I have been and where I see myself going. I review my accomplishments and mistakes with honesty. What am I most proud of? What do I want to change and how? I begin by accepting my current circumstances honestly. Each new year brings unlimited possibilities to write a new story. I am true to myself and focus on what is really important. From this awareness, I create an authentic life that reflects who I truly am. I am unique and my life is unique. I am creator, director, and writer of my story, and I direct it in a way that brings the greatest joy for myself and others. As I live authentically, I enjoy a life of well-being and love. And from John 18, verse 37, "For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth." Thank you.
We'll play with that. We're not done. How do I know? Because I'm still here. Just say it. It's one of those little kind of testy things. I test, it's not the other way around, by the way. But, as long as I'm still here. But one of the things that I have discovered and keep working on a regular basis is the more I recognize who I am, the more I am willing to give power to my word, the more it starts to show up in my world. Let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. Let's rest and join with Steve. The Father and I are one. And so we move into that place in consciousness that Jesus called our inner closet, our secret place. It is that place within you where there is no question, there is no doubt. The Father and I are one. And as we enter in this day, we gently close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what I should have done. We gently close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what I have yet to do this day. And for one holy moment, we rest. And here in the stillness and in the silence, we listen. In our prayers we ask, here in the silence, answers come. perhaps in a word, a phrase, song. Regardless of how it shows up and appears for you this day, know that it comes to you wrapped in love. In this moment, all my needs are met. In this moment, I choose to reach out and accept these gifts as they come to me. I immerse myself in them. As I do so, each and every cell of my being is lifted up. Rejuvenated, revitalized, renewed. In this moment, I am whole and free. This day, I hold in thought those who have come to me in prayer, praying with them, knowing for them the truth of them. The Father and I are one. And in this one Mass, we move and live and have our being. This day, we remember we are channels through which good flows into our world. And we open that channel wide. That which has been so lovingly and freely given, I now move from me, through me, into my world. These thoughts coming together, joining with other thought of like mind, growing in strength and in power, and moving from this place into our community, wherever that might be this day. And in doing so, touches each and every one of God's children. And in that moment, in this moment, I am blessed. Accepting these blessings, I choose to be a blessing. This flow continues from me, through me, across our state, across our country, touching each and every one of God's children, whether they know it or not. And in this moment, I am blessed. Accepting this blessing, I choose to continue to be a blessing from me, through me. This flow continues around our world. Across our universe. Touching, healing, loving. In this moment, I am blessed. Remembering that in truth and in spirit, we are never separate one from the other. We know that somewhere, somewhen, someone is saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, for in this moment, that which you have sent, gratefully received. And that gratitude lifts up, swells, returns to you, the circle of life, whole and complete. In this moment, I rest, I breathe, knowing there is more yet for me to do this day, gently and easily, effortlessly, holding to this experience we have shared, we bring our attention back to this moment, to this place, to this time. And we join together and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us when he said, as for you, pray therefore in this manner. I learned an important lesson today, first thing this morning. Don't tell Steve a story that he's going to remember. Because he'll be playing and all of a sudden he'll go, ha, 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 ha. So if you catch a ha-ha note, that's why. You can ask Steve what the story is later. And it's a good one. There is only one presence, one power in my life, God the good. I grew up with this. God is all, both visible and invisible. This one that is all is perfect, life, love, intelligence, and substance. Man is, therefore I am, an expression of God, and therefore one with perfect life, love, intelligence, and substance. And I forgot it. And then I remembered. And then I forgot it. And I remembered. Sound familiar? You get a piece, and for some reason, we forget it. The challenge is, for you and I, is that when we accept that piece of information into our being, the truth of who we are, we then begin to find new ways to express it, and with that then comes a responsibility. You can't let it go. Once you got it, you got it. And that's what this new plane, or a higher plane, if you will, is all about. I'm not talking about higher and lower so much. I'm talking about when something comes in and you grab it and hold it, you need to express it all the time. It becomes a responsibility for you. Your ability to respond. And just live it over and over and over again so that the forgetting parts get smaller. Here's what happens. I got this one, I remember it, I'm practicing it, and then I get a new piece. And when I get the new piece, I'm so excited. I focus on the new piece, and I forgot the old one. Right? It happens. We forget that the pieces are intermingled, interdependent, if you will. They rely on each other. And so when you work on one portion of who you are, it's good to do that, however, remember to drag the rest of you along with it. By the way, you'll catch up regardless. But that happens, eh? So what kind of tools can we look? This year, I want to focus on tools. What kind of tools can we use to remind us on a regular basis of who we are, and how do we move forward in that truth? Part of it is to remember that prayer and meditation is not a Sunday-only event. It's good on Sunday, but it's also good, and not just Sunday and Wednesday, for those of you who are saying, yeah, I'm here Wednesday. Yeah, no. We need to start stretching it. Start stretching your prayer work. What does that look like for you? When you set time aside every day, or more, but at least once a day, where you say, in this moment, I'm going to choose to do kind of what we do on Sunday, kind of what we do on Wednesday, is I'm going to get quiet, I'm going to get still, I'm going to focus, I'm going to remember who I am, I'm going to take an absolute positive statement of the truth of me, and I'm going to spend a few minutes in that. And then I'm going to breathe and go do my stuff. But I'm going to remember that while I'm in that place, just like in our prayer, we just set aside the thoughts just for a little while. I can pick them up. Just for those few moments, get in the practice, the habit and practice of doing that every day. I don't make a lot of guarantees, but the one I will make is this. When you do that, your life will change in dramatic ways. Now, it may not come in the thunderbolt. Yay, I won the lottery. Hint, you have to buy a ticket. Probably won't show up that way. What it will show up is in circumstances that you've been holding on to, that seem to be holding you back or putting you in a place where you really don't want to be, those will start to shift and change. Now, it's not that they shifted and changed. You did. Changed your focus. But it dissipates. I tell this story on a regular basis because it's so important for me that I share this. Anybody who's ever been in the military or knows someone who has been in the military and in a war footing, the people who are involved in that process are affected, each and every one of us, in a different way, but affected nonetheless. Okay? Some move through it quickly. Others hold on to things for a longer period of time because we don't understand. Right? For me, what occurred is I learned how to recognize the good in it. And I share this with you, that the most green on this planet is in Vietnam. There is no place that is greener than Vietnam. Now, were there a lot of other things that occurred there? You betcha. But I went through this process, the one I'm explaining to you right now, of taking it and setting aside that which no longer serves me and holding to that which does. Now, the other stuff didn't go away, by the way. It's part of my experience. But it's no longer in charge. So what circumstance do you have that you're holding on to that's in charge of you? You see, when you get into prayer and meditation on a regular basis, when you start to affirm who you are on a regular basis, then that picture will change as well. And you'll start moving through it, and that circumstance will dissipate and get out of the way. Hint, another circumstance will show up. Say thank you. And then you'll get in the habit of saying, you know, I've got enough thank yous, just give me a break here. Right? And it's okay, and in that moment, just breathe. And then take the next thing and step forward, one step at a time. I woke up this morning and I stretched and I went, this is the first time in a year where that stretch, where I just sat on the side of the bed and went, yay, that it felt absolutely equal on both sides of my body. Now, I don't know that I'm done, but this morning in that moment, that was that feeling. I'm in balance again. I've been working consciously on staying in balance, yeah? Okay, but for this morning, first time, felt absolutely there. So my goal this year is to have that feeling all the time. Not just once, but all the time, every step of the way. Right? So I can take this experience that I went through, see the good in it, see what lessons I learned from it, and then move forward to newer lessons, whatever those look like. I don't know what they look like. I'm so excited I can't hardly stand myself. Now, on the surface, you go, wait a minute. I don't know I'm going to be all that excited about a stroke. I'm just not going to go there. And I don't advise you to do it. Okay? But what I'm telling you is I'm excited for whatever next comes up. Because no matter what shows up, I know with a capital K, that whatever it is, I have the ability and capability to move through it. Right? So whatever it is shows up, I'm going to move through it. I'm going to take the lessons that I learned and apply it to this circumstance. That's another thing. We'll spend some time on that in the coming weeks. Is the process you learn applies across the board. Here's what happens. I just did this because, see, the muscles are working, and the process is I'm working muscles. Yes? Okay? But that doesn't apply to this muscle. Yes, it does. I have to exercise it too, don't I? If I'm going to exercise muscles, I got to exercise all my muscles. The process is the same. And I need to remember that the process is the same. And that will keep me up here. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to have times when I will forget. How do I know that? Habit and practice. I've been doing it my whole life, right? I'm getting better about not forgetting so much. other than your name. So if I forget that, just kind of go, thank you, Rob. This is what it is. But on those things that I need to move forward, better and better every day. And it's because I'm putting it to work every day. Sometimes it looks as if I get so busy, how can I possibly put this process to work in my life? Well, we're going to play with that one too. In your newsletter, there's an article about metaphysical interpretation. And I asked our Wednesday class if you'd like to learn how to do that. And they went like that. I went, good. So I put it out in the newsletter. I want to see how many more, let's put it that way, people would be interested in taking a look at that. And figuring out how you can take things metaphysically and then apply them. Well, the good thing about that is once you learn how, you're not limited to just metaphysical interpretation of the Bible, which is what we were working on specifically. But you can then begin to interpret other things as well. Because what does metaphysics mean? It means the study of beyond the physical, yes? Beyond the physical. So what else is going on in my world that when I can look by and past it, I can come up with a different way to look at things. Let me give you an example. Our garbage man comes every Friday, except yesterday, or Friday. Why? Well, there's a holiday in the middle. The guys took the day off, and they had to catch up, right? Now, that's a simple little thing for most people. However, I have neighbors who are going like this. Look, garbage man's not here. What's up with that? And they were all tense about it. I go, wait a minute. Breathe. It's cold. There's a lid on the garbage. No raccoons, you're good. But we get into patterns, is what I'm saying. And so we need to figure out, I can look at that metaphysically and say, as something shows up, all the trash in my life is going to get hauled away. Just not today. My trash man works 24/7. But there's a couple things I have to do. Number one, I got to put it in the container, and I got to get it to the curb. Does not make house calls. Now, you look at that and you go, come on, what's with this? It's looking past the physical and applying it. Okay, how do I apply it? There is within me a process when I am willing to take that which no longer serves me, which is what your trash is, yes? And I put it in a container. Notice I'm not getting rid of it yet. For those of you who say, I might want to save it for later. Just saying. Step one, I got to get it out of the way. Huh? Step two, I got to get it to the curb. Step three, I need to let it go. Step four, I need to know that it's being hauled off. That applies to my thinking, doesn't it? It's not just the trash. It applies to my world around me. How fun is that? Now, I don't know that that's totally 100% accurate, but it works for me, and I have fun with it, because I'm looking beyond just what's showing up in my world. There's a reason for everything showing up in my world. Am I paying attention is really what I'm asking. See, in this new set of awareness, this lifting up, this putting to work that which I know, and I need to put it to work in everything, every day. But for me, this is serious work. I got that. But this has to be fun. This has to be fun. This world is too full of joy not to have fun doing it. So have fun with it. And if people go to you, as they often do to me, Rob, you're nuts, I go, thank you. Yes, I am. Because it's about what I'm thinking about and how I'm interpreting it in my world. And I'm not concerned about how I'm learning not to be concerned about how others are reacting to what I believe, right? But I share what I have. And that's what you do as well. You share what you have, whether you realize it or not. We're all real familiar with this, and I'll close with this. When you throw the rock in the pond, we're all familiar with the rings on the edge, yes? And we don't know where the rings go, but eventually they touch the edge of whatever the pond is, right? Think about it from this perspective. When you throw the rock in, you get the rings. You also get rings that go down as that rock travels to the bottom of that pond. So those ripples are not only here, they're here. And we know here. Every step you take is a ripple on the pond. Every step you take affects something else in our world. I don't know what that looks like yet, but it does. When you go out with a positive attitude, today I'm going to express the truth of who I am as opposed to what other people think of me. All right? Today I'm going to be joy-filled. Today I'm going to be loving. Doesn't matter what happens today, I'm going to be loving. Guess what? Your world responds. And your world changes. What happens when you decide to do that every day? Your world changes every day. And pretty soon others, you start looking. I live in a happy camper community. Yay! And then people visiting from out of town will say, what are you guys so happy about? And you can breathe and you can tell them, here's how it goes, my friend. I have figured this out. Are you ready? Here it comes. I look them right in the eye and I say, I love you. Together. I love you. I look them right in the eye and say, I bless you. Together. I bless you. From my heart, I look them right in the eye and I say, I appreciate you. Together. I appreciate you. And then depending who I'm talking to, because I haven't got it 100% yet, sometimes out loud, sometimes quietly, I say, in looking in their eye, in this moment, I behold the Christ. Together. I behold the Christ. And they leave with a smile too. It's 2015. Let's get to work.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.